Welcome, this is Jani Sarahmad with the daily roundup of news from the US and around the world. First are the headlines. Wintry mess of snow and ice to linger across US. California's largest recorded wildfire winding down as firefighters gain upper hand. Pope espouses a two-state solution for Middle East. Hala River in Bangladesh, the lone source of natural carp breeding in South Asia, lost 26% of its fish species in the past 7 years. Pakistani cricketer Malik to fill in for Hafiz in New Zealand, says Sarfaraz. Rohit Sharma is ahead of Virat Kohli in limited overs, says Sandeep Patel. Sticker shock of women stunned by 284 billion electric bill. Christmas Day TV, Queen's message wins TV ratings better. And now the details. Wintry mess of snow and ice linger across much of the US. A blast of lingering frigid air across the northern US will keep the snow coming this week from the Pacific Northwest to the Great Lakes, the National Weather Service said on Tuesday. Christmas week will be cold and snow for much of the northern and higher elevation areas of the country. Snowfalls of 3 to 4 feet, the largest of the season so far, are expected for the next few days east of Lake Erie and Ontario. On Christmas Day, a stationary snow band off Lake Erie dumped nearly 3 feet of snow on Erie, more than 4 times the previous Christmas recorded and 14 inches more than the city's all-time record, which has stood for more than 60 years. The snowfall prompted city officials to declare a snow emergency. State police said drivers should avoid travel. The Weather Channel reported that Erie International Airport recorded an eye-popping 34 inches of snow on Monday. The previous Christmas record from 2002 was 8.1 inches. Snowfall shattered the city's all-time one-day record of 20 inches recorded on November 11, 1956. Snow continued falling on Tuesday, bringing the total since late Christmas Eve to 55 inches in under 36 hours, with more than lots of snow on Wednesday. Forecasters said up to a foot more. Erie's 92 inches of snow this December makes this the snowiest single month in the recorded era. The previous record from December 1989 was 66.9 inches. Erie averages about 101 inches of snow per year, the Weather Channel noted. Up to a foot of heavy snow is forecast to Wednesday in northern New England, where strong winds with gusts of up to 65 miles per hour, slowing travel and causing power outages, were predicted for Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island. California's largest recorded wildfire winding down as firefighters gain upper hand. Firefighters have gained nearly total control of California's largest ever wildfire and are urging visitors to come to Santa Barbara and Ventura now that the danger has passed and smoke is abating. Businesses are open and eager to serve the public, Cal Fire, the statewide firefighting agency, said in a statement on Tuesday. No forward progress of the fire is expected at this point. The Thomas Fire has burned an estimated 281,062 acres, more than 440 square miles, and destroyed more than 1,000 structures from multi-million-dollar homes to telephone poles and garages. Another 280 structures have been damaged, firefighters said. The fire is now 88% contained. The blaze broke out December 4 and was whipped up by a days-long windstorm that drove flames through some of the state's richest neighborhoods, including Monticello, forcing celebrations to evacuate. All mandatory evacuations have now been lifted, and the fire's active presence has diminished in cities it once threatened, from Fillmore to Santa Barbara. The number of firefighters assigned to blaze is dropping rapidly, a sure sign authorities believe they have turned the corner. Now about 900 firefighters are assigned to the area, down from about 3,000 at the height of the assault. The largest previously recorded wildfire in state history was the 2003 Cedar Fire in San Diego County, which burned 273,000 acres. Some fires before that date undoubtedly were larger, but records are unreliable according to state fire officials. Coming on the heels of October Wine Country wildfire, the milestone reaffirmed 2017 as the most destructive fire season on record in the state. Despite its size, the Thomas Fire has been less destructive than either the Wine County Fire or the Cedar Fire, which destroyed 282 structures and killed 15 people. The Thomas Fire has been associated with 2 deaths, including a firefighter. The fire's cause remains under investigation. Pope espouses two-state solution for Middle East. Pope Francis, in his traditional Christmas address on Monday, called for peace in Jerusalem and highlighted the plight of children scarred by conflict, having earlier urged the world's Catholic and not to ignore the plight of migrants. Tens of thousands of worshippers gathered at the Vatican to hear the pontiff's fifth address and the world message. It was delivered hours after Christmas Eve Mass, where he led on how the migrants had been driven from their land because of leaders willing to shed innocent blood. On Monday, Pope Francis' message sought peace for Jerusalem and for all the Holy Land. We see Jesus in the children of the Middle East who continue to suffer because of growing tensions between Israel and Palestine. He said, "Let us pray that the will to resume dialogue may prevail between the parties and that a negotiated solution can finally be reached, and one that would allow the peaceful coexistence of 2 states within mutually agreed and internationally recognized borders. May the Lord also sustain the efforts of all those in the international community inspired by the goodwill to help that effect and to find, despite grave obstacles, in the harmony, justice, and security that it has long evaded," the Pope said. The Pontiff also mentioned other global flashpoints such as Syria, Iraq, Yemen, South Sudan, and Venezuela after stressing that the winds of war are blowing in our world. "Let us pray that the confrontation may be over on the Korean Peninsula and that mutual trust may increase in the interest of the world as a whole," the 81-year-old said. Malik to fill in for Hafiz in New Zealand, says Sarfraz. Pakistani captain Sarfraz Ahmed on Tuesday backed veteran all-rounder Shoaib Malik to contribute more with the ball during the upcoming New Zealand tour and cover for Mohammad Hafiz, who is serving a 1-year ban due to a flaw in his bowling action. While admitting that Hafiz lost before such a tricky series is a major setback for the team, the skipper expressed full faith in Malik's abilities, saying, "This was a setback for the team, but I am confident that the plan PCB has devised for rectification of Hafiz's action will help him clear in the meanwhile. Shoaib Malik will pitch in with the ball during the middle orders. We are very hopeful that he'll do a fine job in Hafiz's absence." When asked which one of Hafiz, Sohail, and Mohammad Nawaz is ahead in the pecking order, Sarfraz revealed both have different roles in the side and hinted that he could even pick both. "We mainly consider Haris a batsman bowler, whereas Nawaz is in the side as a bowling all-rounder," he said during a media briefing. "Now it depends on how we play over there and whether we use 4 bowlers or 5. Team selection will depend on the pitches there." Sarfraz also threw his weight behind the batting unit and reminded the critics that the batsmen also fared admirably in the 2017. "Pakistan's bowling has always been strong, but our batsmen have also been doing well since the West Indies tour," he said. "Yes, we couldn't score that big against India, but against South Africa and Sri Lanka, our batsmen did very well. Mind you, we now also have depth in our batting. Shadab Khan, Imdad Wasim, and Fahim Ashraf are all batting very well. And if runs keep on flowing down under Sarfraz says he will have no reason to charge the batting order, and that's the same lineup which will continue," he said. Halda River is losing fish species. Study says 26 species lost in 7 years due to pollution. The Halda River, the lone source of natural carp in Bangladesh breeding in South Asia, lost 26 of its fish species in the past 7 years because of water pollution and an ailing biotic community due to the dams and dikes built on both sides of the river. A study completed last year impacted assessment on upstream water withdrawal to conserve natural breeding habitat of major carps in the river Halda looked at various factors responsible for the loss in its fish species. It pointed at the residue released by factories, including tobacco farming and sand extraction as primary reasons. The 12-month study carried out between March 2015 and February 2016 found at least 26 fish species have disappeared from the Halda River. Dr. Manjurul Kabiria, a professor of zoology at Chittagong University who was on the research team, said there were 76 fish species in the river according to a similar study in 2009. That figure has now come down to 50, he told the Daily newspaper of Bangladesh. The river stream has seen the construction of dams from 1976 to 2011 that has reduced the flow of water, causing ecological disturbance to the riverbank and food chain. This resulted in fewer plankton and other areas that are essential food sources for various species of fish. Across the Halda River and its tributaries, there are many agricultural fields that require water for irrigation. These dams have benefited the farmers of these regions but were set up in an unplanned way. Where the river originates, there is an expanse of tobacco farming on both sides of the shore. Pesticides and fertilizers that are sprayed on the tobacco plants all wash into the river stream and also affect the underwater ecosystem. Factory waste released into the river are also accountable for the presence of harmful chemicals in the water, he added. The research team has seen the extensive impact of rubber dams on the plankton community, Widia said. Planktons have deteriorated drastically in the spawning period, April till June downstream, while it was high at the same location during post-spawning season. The poor number of benthos is prevailing during November-March when the river becomes almost dry, as water extraction begins in full swing for crop cultivation. Research suggested that the authorities take steps to stop indiscriminate sand extraction from 13 legal and 20 illegal sand stations of Halda tobacco farming at a pollution site from factories, save the oxbow and protect the brood fish. District Fisheries Officer Monimul Haq said not only in Halda but various fish species are going extinct from the swamps as well. He blamed the indiscriminating fishing and pollution for this and underscored the need for creating sanctuaries to save the fish species. Rohit Sharma is ahead of Virat Kohli in limited overs. Sandeep Patel, former BCCI chief selector Sandeep Patel, stirred a fresh controversy saying opener Rohit Sharma is a better batsman than skipper Virat Kohli in limited overs cricket. Virat Kohli fans might not like it, but I have to say Rohit Sharma is currently the better batsman. Virat is definitely a great batsman, no doubt about it. He is India's best test batsman, but when it comes to limited over cricket, Rohit is ahead of him. Patel was quoted as saying by a news channel, Rohit recently blasted a record third ODI double done, leading the home side to a 22-1 win in the three-match rubber against Sri Lanka in the absence of regular skipper. Kohli, who took a break to the tie knot with Bollywood actress Anushka Sharma, the Mumbai batsman continued his purple patch in the subsequent three-match T20 in the national rubber, slamming his second T20 run off just 35 overs, and also became the only Indian to do so. Both Rohit and Kohli have slammed 11 centuries each in the 50-over format of the game since 2015. However, it is the India's opener who has taken less innings to reach there. Rohit has slammed 11 tons in mere 48 ODIs that he played since 2015. But Kohli leads the race in terms of runs as he has scored 2,822 runs. It was a sticker shock. A woman stunned by a $284 billion electric bill. Mary Ormansky initially suspected that her family had put up their Christmas lights wrong. A Pennsylvania woman says she went online to check her electric bill and was stunned at the amount, more than $284 billion. The Erie Times News reports that Mary said her eyes just about popped out of her head when she saw the amount. She suspected that her family had put up their Christmas lights wrong. The silver lining was that she didn't have to pay the full amount until November 2018. Only $281,056 minimum payment was due for December. Christmas Day. It's the TV ratings. Queen's message wins TV ratings battle. The Queen's broadcast topped TV ratings on Christmas Day. Overnight viewing figures have shown audience of 7.6 million watched her annual message on BBC One, ITV, and Sky News. BBC One's Mrs. Brown Boys had the second highest number of viewers with an audience of 6.8 million. It was followed by two more BBC One shows, Strictly Come Dancing and with 6.5 million viewers, and Call the Midwife with 6.3 million. EastEnders wounded out the top 5 with its Christmas Day special, attracting 6.3 million viewers. Jodie Whittaker's debut as Doctor Who at the number 6 on the list was watched by 5.7 million. 35-year-old broadcast star has succeeded Peter Capaldi to become the 13th time TV star. The Great British Bake Off on Channel 4 was watched by around 2.8 million people. Coming together to sit and watch the Queen's broadcast is still a traditional part of Christmas for many families, and it is one of the main reasons that year after year the program, broadcast on multiple channels, comes top of the overnight ratings. Once Christmas catch-up viewing is taken into consideration, it is likely the Queen will be overtaken at the top by another program, because with so much choice on 25 December, viewers will often opt to watch some shows live while saving others to watch later. For example, this year there was a significant overlap between three of TV's most popular programs: Call the Midwife on BBC One, Coronation Street on ITV, and the Great British Bake Off on Channel 4. Overall figures for some individual shows do seem to be dropping slightly year on year, but that is probably inevitable with the increasing amount of choice available on traditional channels and forms on-demand services like Netflix and Amazon. Thank you very much for watching. Watch us at www.millenniumtv.org and do drop us a line at info@millenniumtv.net. This is Janis Ahmed signing off from Millennium TV USA. We are bridging communities worldwide.